It really is about changing the lives of children. It's something that is very low risk.
It provides a lot more variation than a traditional schoolyard would. Green schoolyards are multifunctional, nature-filled spaces that are designed for and by the school community. So they aren't necessarily just nature spaces, but nature is integrated in all of the schoolyard so that people are attracted to come to the space no matter what their interests are. We still have this perception that schoolyards can just be these slates of asphalt with a piece of playground equipment, and that's enough. And so we're really focused on awareness building right now and just changing people's minds about what these spaces can be. In a green schoolyard, you often have loose parts and nature play, so kids are able to play with the plants. There's a lot of gross motor and fine motor skills being developed in those spaces.
I think the first thing to support green schoolyards is this misnomer that it belongs to a school. I think that's the first thing. This partnership, it belongs to the community, it belongs to children and staff, and because it happens in a schoolyard doesn't mean that it belongs to a school. And I think so that's the first thing. I would tell people to start very small and to get rid of this idea of owning something. And how do we get to yes? And so whether it's the city, the neighborhood, the parents, I think we have to say it happens in a schoolyard, but it doesn't necessarily belong to the school.
Finding consistent funding for the work where school districts are often just trying to meet their yearly budgets and aren't thinking 4 or 5 years out and what could just shift a little bit. Even what we're finding is that because of increased attendance and academic performances with green schoolyards, that they could actually be getting more funding.
It reduces the need for medication. It increases the scores, the test scores. Attendance goes up. But I think we have to take time to teach people that because this is new for us in education and it could be new for our parents and our community members as well.
When they decide that they want to start a Green Schoolyards program, they should define on some level what they're trying to get to. Often it's just nature exposure, for kids and communities. But what is it that they need to add and being able to give the community a voice in what that looks like.
You're going to get pushback from your staff members, pushback from parents, because you think you have to have extra resources to do this. You don't. You do have to commit. And you have to say, no matter what, I'm not going to walk away from this. Use organizations in the community, the nonprofits, to say, what does this look like, right? Start really small. They're not asking for your reading budget. They're not asking for your math budget, but they are saying commit.
For us with Green Schoolyards, we've really been focused on district-wide program development to ensure that all kids have access to Green Schoolyards. In many cities, schools have more social capital than others. They've been able to figure out how to fund and develop their schoolyards. They know that this is the right thing to do, and they really have been able to fundraise on their own. But making sure that all kids within a district have access to green schoolyards and these benefits is really important. We really believe in equitable access to nature, and having these common public spaces that can provide that is a big win.